stood about 16 feet tall, measured 38 feet in length, and weighed up to 4 tons. Allosaurus versus Camarasaurus. Predator against prey. It's T-Rex by some 80 million years, and was the biggest carnivore of its time. Jaw muscles and serrated teeth, 2 to 4 inches long. Allosaurus as the most lethal creature on planet Earth. But as powerful as it was no match against Mother Nature, in the path of a team of approaching Allosaurus.
These Allosaurus hunted packs because it allows them to bring juvenile Stegosaurus about 100 yards ahead. And this is the hated enemy of Allosaurus.
One Allosaurus moves off to flank the uncertain tens of thousands of bones. So, what had bigger was keeping them away. The remaining Allosaurus head towards the scene. The Ceratosaurus is outnumbered, and scientists now know it was also outsmarted.
It was sort of...
It's a face-off, one that's about to see a 2 Allosaurus. The prize? A helpless Stegosaurus goes into 150 million years ago and uses him as a platform. The Ceratosaurus begins to move away with the force of a runaway freight train. The third Allosaurus crushes the unsuspecting Ceratosaurus. The collision is enough to kill it on impact. But with the attention now focused on the downed Ceratosaurus, one of them leaves himself open to counterattack.
The moment she feels her tails become free, she swings it with every bit of remaining energy she has, and it lands a direct hit.
The bodies begin to pile up. One Allosaurus is down. A few steps away, the body of the Ceratosaurus lays motionless. A lifeless body of her offspring. Suddenly, a sound cuts through the air. A herd of Camarasaurus approaches a drying lake.
Under normal conditions, there is no way... Or do they dare take on something as huge?
To move at a good pace compared to other dinosaurs. Some experts estimate they could run as fast as 20 miles an hour. They had to be quick in order to track down their prey. 2 natural enemies, showcasing the prehistoric art of war.
Just stepping on potential predators would probably do them in. If you want to be very careful around them.
At the sight of the Allosaurus, the Camarasaurus herd turns and retreats, leaving its leader to face the threat alone.
When 2 Allosauruses showed up, their priority is to move away from the danger and take their babies.
The Allosaurs approach carefully, circling to make sure. Working in tandem, they look for the best angle to attack a weak spot. The flank.
These 2 Allosaurus would dare take on a bull Camarasaurus.
Taking up positions on either side of the giant sauropod, the Allosaurs launch their attack, teeth and claws primed to bite and slash.
The Allosaurus leap onto the side of the sauropod. They're trying to cut through the thick flesh.
The Camarasaurus strains from the weight of his attackers, but in a defensive move, shakes them off. But not before the Allosaurus, using their large hand claws, inflict deep wounds in his flanks. But under the intense heat of the Jurassic sun, an unseen force begins to take its toll on the Allosaurus.
But they also have a special adaptation.
With their body temperatures back to normal, the Allosaurus are ready to fight. It's 2 predators versus Camarasaurus on an ancient lake bed. And all hell is about to break. Lake has become a battlefield. 3 to their advantage, splayed toes. One of the Allosaurus attacks. The Camarasaurus is quick to respond.
Like a freight train, the impact crushes the ribs and splinters the arms of Allosaurus.
The momentum of the tail allows the Camarasaurus's front legs to be in. With its massive weight, the Camarasaurus crushes its last remaining rival. But its victory...
Allosaurus was the most
Allosaurus possessed two lethal weapons that made it a top predator. The first was its
Huge muscles.
Allosaurus's second lethal weapon was its combination of powerful...
The teeth of Allosaurus were not like...
Allosaurus had a very
A predator like Allosaurus was a born fighter. He had two kill...
The battle changes. Now he's interested in rushing in and beating the crud out of his opponent. I'm bigger than you. I'll rip your head off.
Mighty the creature, planet Earth itself will always...
Like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus, because of their sheer size.
But when that environment changes... A key difference between these dinosaurs is that unlike Ceratosaurus, the Allosaurus was an intelligent creature with the capacity to form strategies.
To the claw. As you can see,
Frequent fighters. Ceratosaurus bones are usually found unmarked. For them,
Dinosaurs like Allosaurus and Tyrannosaurus. She has no idea that while she's laying in ambush, a 35-foot-long, 4-ton Allosaurus is within striking distance. He's slow.
The Allosaurus's feet are heavily padded with rubbery, calloused skin. This allows even the 4-ton Allosaurus to sneak up. It also allows... The Allosaurus exerts 1 ton of pressure with its bite, a lethal force.
That is now closing in.
Its claws can be used to hold prey, but its teeth are its main weapon.
But he's safe. The Allosaurus turns his body and the Ceratosaurus lines up to try to figure trees as defense. He ducks in and out, trying to get in close enough to attack the Allosaurus, snapping that mouth every time the Ceratosaurus steps from behind a tree. Recognizes the two most vulnerable spots. He'll be able to leap onto his side and rip him open. His long, stiffened tail is designed like a balancing pole. It would be like the world's first rodeo rider.
It is the Ceratosaurus's only hope. It's the biggest game. He is not used to...
Into the Allosaurus. The Allosaurus, blood gushing from the wound. Now the fight has changed. The Ceratosaurus flees around and leaps into the side of the Allosaurus. Allosaurus, using his mass, is able to shift and shudder and ultimately throw the Ceratosaurus, but then changes position. Fails to react quickly enough. Clamp down on the shoulder of the Ceratosaur. The Ceratosaur roars in pain and is able to use its elongated upper teeth.
The Allosaurus will not just bite straight down. He will also move his jaws side to side to cause slashing wounds.
Grabbing the Ceratosaurus towers over its prey, its helpless prey. Skeleton.
Allosaurus was the first giant predatory dinosaur to stalk North America. It predated